Hi YouTube, welcome to my channel, The Awakening of the Church. And we've been going through the New Testament book, Matthew, the book of Matthew. And we find ourselves here in chapter 7 of Matthew. And in this chapter 7 of Matthew, it starts off by talking about judging. And it as we get into it talks about entering at the straight gate and the wide gate, the one that leads to destruction. It also, in this chapter, talks about the rock, which is Christ, that we need to stand on that solid rock. It also talks about the sinking sand, which has no foundation. And so we're going to get right into it as we start here. Chapter 7 starts like this. It says, "Judge not that ye be not judged. For with what judgment ye judge, ye shall be judged. And with that measure ye mere, it shall be measured to you again. And why behold thou that mote that is in thy brother's eye, but considereth not the beam that is in thy own eye? Or how will thou say to thy brother, Let me pull out the mote out of thy eye, and behold, a beam is in thy own eye? Thou hypocrite, first cast out thy beam out of thy own eye, and then shalt thou see clearly to cast out the mote out of thy brother's eye." So here you see verse 1 through 5. It talks about judging, and then here it talks about you judge. First of all, get the mote out of your own eye, and then you be able to pull the mote out of your brother's eye. So that is a simple way of looking at it. You can't pull a mote or tell someone about Christ unless you're living it. You can tell them, but living it is the proof of what you're saying. And that's what a lot of people don't get it. And so here in verse 6, it says, "Give not that which is holy unto the dogs, neither cast your pearls before swine, lest they trample them under their feet, and turn again and render you. Ask, and it shall be given to you. Seek, and ye shall find. Knock, and it shall be open. For everyone that asketh receiveth, and he that seeks findeth, and to him that knocketh it shall be open. Or what man is it there of you, whom if his son asks bread, will he give him a stone? Or if he asked a fish, will he give him a serpent? If ye then, being evil, know how to give good gifts unto your children, how much more shall your Father which is in heaven give good things to them that ask him? Therefore, all things whatsoever ye would that men should do to you, do ye even so to them. For This is the law and the prophets. Enter ye in at the straight gate, for wide is the gate, and broad is the way that leads to destruction, and many there be which go in thereat. Because straight is the gate, and narrow is the way which lead unto life, and few there be that find it. So here, I want to stop here and go back here. It says here, enter in at the straight gate, for wide is the gate, and broad is the way that lead to destruction, and many there be which go in thereat. So here it's talking about this gate, which is, it says that it's wide. And it says enter in at the straight gate, for wide is the gate, and broad is the way that leads to destruction, and many there be which go in thereat. So it just explains here that the gate which leads to destruction, which the gate that leads to hell, is a wide gate, and there be many that goes in there. Many go in that way, this gate that it is talking about. But then here in verse 14 it says, but because straight is the gate, and narrow is the way that leads unto life, and few there be that finds it. So the gate which leads to life is a gate that is a very narrow, and it says few people will find this gate. Few people will find this gate. This gate that leads to life. Few people will find it. Few will find it. So it makes it sound like this is a very narrow path. Very, very narrow path. Meaning that you have to be closely walking with God, and you have to be very watchful of the world, the things that's going on in the world, and that you're not partaking or being part of this world system. And only God can show you that you're not part of this system. So then it continues here. It says, beware of false prophets. So here it is explaining. So it explains here that this straight path. But then after that, it tells you here too, it gives you a warning. It says, beware of false prophets which come to you in sheep's clothing, but inward they are raven wolves. So it warns us about false prophets. False prophets. It says inward they are raven wolves. And so they look like Christians, but they're not. They are wolves. And so here he's going to, as we get down here, he's going to explain how we can recognize them. So he says, ye shall know them by their fruits. Do men gather grapes of thorns or figs of thistles? So even so, every good tree bring forth good fruits, but a corrupt tree bring forth evil fruits. A good tree cannot bring forth evil fruits, neither can a corrupt tree bring forth good fruits. So here he's saying is an evil tree, an evil person is going to bring forth evil fruits. Says you're going to know them by their fruits. So then he said here in 19, every tree that bring forth not good fruits is hewed down and cast into the fire. Wherefore by their fruits you shall know them. Now, here is going to give us a warning. This section here, he's talking about entering at the gate. He tells us beware of false prophets. He gives us a way of recognizing how to know them. And here Jesus is saying, listen to this right here. Jesus said, and this is Jesus speaking all the way through, but here, verse 21, Jesus says, not everyone that says unto me, Lord, Lord, shall enter into the kingdom of heaven, but he that does the will of my Father which is in heaven. Many will say to me in that day, Lord, Lord, have we not prophesied in thy name, and in thy name has cast out devils, and in thy name done many wonderful works? So Jesus is saying people are going to come to him in that day, people who were prophesying, people who were doing the works of God, but didn't have a relationship with God. It was all about the works that they were doing and not about the relationship with Christ. And so verse 23 here, he says, and then I will profess unto them, I never knew you. Depart from me, ye that work iniquity. Therefore, whosoever heareth these sayings of mine and doeth them, I will liken unto him a wise man, which built his house upon a rock. And the rain descended, and the floods came, and the wind blew, and beat upon that house, and it fell not, for it was found upon a rock. And everyone that heareth these sayings of mine and does them not shall be likened unto a foolish man, which built his house upon a sand. And the rain descended, and the floods came, and the wind blew, and beat upon that house, and it fell, and great was the fall of it. And it came to pass, when Jesus had ended these sayings, the people were astonished at his doctrine, for he taught them as one having authority, and not as the scribes. So this is chapter 7, and it was a lot in there in chapter 7 here. Chapter 7, according to Matthew. Subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, leave me a comment down below, and we will continue in the gospel according to Matthew next time. Peace.